Right. Got a couple more matches to report. The round 5 fixtures. We've got the league table to go through. We've then also got the round 6 fixtures to mention. Before we get into everything, I just will remind that obviously from the third round, we still have Gavin versus Lewis. I know they both know. I know they're both going to sort it out. I'm just more reminding for everybody else that's watching. So be aware that the league table should be a little different, as Lewis and Gavin, who are in third and fourth at the minute, should have one extra game played. So, looking quickly at the fixtures, we start with the Sketchy Scramblers versus the Festering Freak Show. I had to double check my notes on this, and he was right, ending 0-0. Interestingly, because just didn't it just screamed that that was incorrect. But no, I checked the reportings, and gosh darn it, it was correct. But yeah, no, an extremely unusual affair considering how the Snotlings have usually been rolled over every game. But in the same vein, it was 4-3 on Kaz. No, 4-4 on Kaz, actually. Looking back at the match results, so it's an interesting one. 0-0 on touchdowns, 4-4 on Kaz. Looking next at myself versus Gavin, the Buckleberry Hot Pots versus the Crimson. Fortunately for Gavin, and probably not deserving, coming out 2-0, probably deserved at least one touchdown, and probably could have had it if the dice went his way a little bit, but the dice were aggressive in fucking him over real bad. But that do be how it is sometimes, but it made myself a comfortable game. Then we look at the last match, which was Flash at the bottom of the table, which was the Silverleaf Sentinels versus the Better Late Than Nevers, which come out as a 3-0 victory for the Silverleaf Sentinels. Match on paper, the result is as you would expect on paper, but again, with the how much better Tommy's getting, the match was a lot closer than the scoreline suggests, and you know, we'll see how things progress. I mean, Tom's already got more points than he ever has in a league season. It's outside of concede, so I think we're already looking at a fantastic result. Leaves the league table as the following. In first place is the Crimson Killers, my team, with 3 wins, 1 draw on 31 points. In second, we have the Steves for Liam, which is 2 wins, 2 draws on 24 points. We have the Festering Freak Show, which is Lewis's team, 2 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss with 22 points. We have the Buckleberry Hot Pots of Gavin with 1 win, 1 draw, 2 losses on 15 points. We have the Sketchy Scramblers of Sam with 1 win, 3 losses on 15 points. We have the Better Late Than Nevers of Tom with 1 win, 3 losses on 10 points. And then 7th, so I haven't reordered these. My bad. Because Stuart should actually be in 4th place. I have just noticed, but you know, he's still bottom at the minute, so we can talk about it. He's the Silverleaf Sentinels of Stuart with 1 win, 1 draw, 2 losses, and 16 points. The one thing I do want to point out that I've just noticed is that Lewis, Gavin, and Sam have all got 10 Kaz. Just an interesting thing, like seeing them all grouped up like that. It's fantastic. I know I did order the stats, so don't worry. Like the league stats you're about to see are correct. They are as follows. Looking at the touchdowns, I'll read the top 5 and then I'll scroll to let you guys see. First place is Martin of the Steves with 6, Mako of the Crimson Killers with 4, Ardell Quick-Footed of the Silverleaf Sentinels with 2, Idris the Radiant of the Silverleaf Sentinels with 2, Ashley of the Crimson Killers with, and there are a total of 24 touchdown scorers this season, and I will just quickly scroll so you guys can see them as needed. Moving on to the top passes, there are only 5, so I'll read them all. Starting with Derwin Quicksilver of the Silverleaf Sentinels with 7, Big Heap of the Buckleberry Hot Pots with 3, Mako of the Crimson Killers with 2, Gag Giant of the Sketchy Scramblers with 1, and Wozniak of the Steves with 1. Moving on to the casualty dealers. There are 32 casualty dealers this season. I will read the top 5 and scroll for the rest. Actually, no, I'll read the top 6, considering they're all 3 and above. So we'll start with Sylvia of the Crimson Killers with 6, who, might I add, in the game versus Gavin, got 5 Kaz in a single game. I had to double check, because it was like, every time I saw her name come up, it was like, jeez, man. But she was in the right place, the right time, and block helped. So, Sylvia of the Crimson Killers with 6, Ardell Quick-Footed of the Silverleaf Sentinels with 4, Buffoon Behemoth of the Sketchy Scramblers with 3, Gag Giant of the Sketchy Scramblers with 3, Idris the Radiant of the Silverleaf Sentinels with 3, and Max the Maggot of the Festering Freak Show with 3. We have people with 2 or more going all the way down to 15th place, and then the rest are all single casualty. We'll just casual scroll just so you guys can see all of your favourite players. And back to the top. Gather ourselves the league table, the fixtures, and hide away those stats, as we need to look at the matches that are going to be played tomorrow, Tuesday the 20th of August. Those matches are the following. The Steves versus the Buckleberry Hot Pots. That is Liam versus Gavin. The Better Late Than Nevers versus the Sketchy Scramblers, which is Tom versus Sam. And the Crimson Killers versus the Silverleaf Sentinels, that is me versus Stu, giving Lewis the day off. Having a look, having a predict, I would like to think, just based on team strength, the Steves are going to come out victors over the Halflings. But again, I've always said this, Gavin, I would say, is a better player. It's just the problem is he's having fun this season with a team that is not of a standard. I reckon 3-1. Like to think he could get a cheeky one turn, but then he'll eventually get overrun by numbers if he starts losing halflings. Better late than never versus the Sketchy Scramblers. I have to put my money on Tom, actually. Forms in his side, performances are in his side, and Sam's not improved, but he's still having just as much fun. But the problem is, it seems he's found a limit with what the Snotlings can do for him performance-wise. But he is improved generally as a player, just team struggles. And finally, we have the Crimson Killers versus the Silverleaf Sentinels. I don't think it's going to be a good day for Stuart, because there are now on the team 5 Strength 4+ players. Frenzy across the board, and it sounds egotistical, but I do consider myself to be a better player, and I've definitely got a stronger team. He's got the edge and the speed, but we'll see if he can break the lines. It should be good for him, because I believe my max speed is only 5 and no 6 with my linesmen and the Conagers, but 5's everywhere else. But it's whether he can get up and past. It'll be interesting. Oh. The last thing that I will remind people of is the bounties that are currently and still active. So, the rules for these bounties that were set by Sam are: the player must be killed, or fired, or miss next game if the next game they are to play is versus Sam. And they are for the following. Rotspawn of Lewis's team, the Festering Freak Show, 50k. Whatever Tom's most skilled player is at the time, 50k. And my team's big guy, 50k. Which, funny enough, did have a miss next game versus for the last game they played, but it wasn't against Sam, so it was not cashed in. So unfortunately, Liam lost out on that one. And Liam also lost. Someone else lost out, because one of Lewis's rot spawns was killed, but then it regenerated, so the bounty actually wasn't officially cashed, which is unfortunate. But good luck to those that are playing. And Lewis, you better make sure you are scouting. Good luck. I'll see you guys when I have the results for these matches. Ta-da.